Hey guys, it is Double Costin here, and today I'm bringing you a deck profile, not about this guy, Double Costin, even though he is the inspiration and title of my channel. No, we are going to talk about Volcanics today, and I love this deck, especially in this format. It's not the best deck, but it can do some cool, amazing plays. And before we begin with this deck profile, I just want to talk about my channel a little bit. So I am Double Costin, I am 19 years old, and I'm still in college, and honestly, my hopes and dreams for this channel is that we just talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! And have fun along the way. I love talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! Playing this game, but I am a super casual and a super budget player, and that's perfectly fine because I love making crazy decks. I love talking about this. I love having fun, and that's basically it. So let's get on with this deck profile. So Volcanics in 2018, what do we say? It's super obvious. This deck has been power crept. This deck is not in its heyday as it once was. Believe it or not, Volcanics won a YCS. It topped. It went undefeated on the YCS. But compared to the decks that we have today, guys, it does nothing. It is not unfair in the slightest. It is super honest, and honestly, it is based off the normal summon. You have amazing normal summon plays, and in order to win with this deck, you have to out advantage your opponent, and you have to control the board. And this deck cannot do that as well as these other modern decks, such as True Kings, such as Trick Stars. But it still has its plays. It can still make the same plays it did, around 2, 3, 4 years ago. And it's not that bad. You just have to run it, get lucky, get those draws. And let's just go on with it. So we have first 3 Volcanic Rocket. It is the main monster you want to draw first turn. You want to get your Rocket to get your Blaze Accelerator reload, because on summon, you get to search that card right out. It's on any summon too, so you can normal summon this, just summon this, you get your search out, or you can use Ties of the Brethren, which we are running, to special summon this from the deck, and then you get your +1. You get that free search too. Not to mention, it is a 1900 beat stick, which is still not too shabby even today, and this is the card you want to run. It's probably the best Volcanic monster. Next, we have our arguably the second best normal summon, Royal Firestorm Guards. And this card allows you to shuffle 4 Pyro monsters in your graveyard back into your deck to draw 2 cards. Yes, that is a +1 off this one card. And it is super good because this card allows you to get your draw engine going. It allows you to establish a reload. And then you have your Firestorm Guards, which allow you to keep on using that reload, keep on using those draw cards, which perfectly goes down to Volcanic Shell. Volcanic Shell works with reload, in which that once this card is sent to the graveyard, you can pay 500. Oh, once this card is in your graveyard, actually, it's even better than that. Once this card is in your graveyard, you can pay 500 to search another Volcanic Shell, which works amazingly well with reload. You just pitch these guys to the graveyard, get 500 to get more, basically reload fodder, right? Reload fodder, you discard 1 to draw. And that's why it's just so good. And then once you put these cards back into your deck, you keep on using this cycle. Like, if you have more than 4 Pyros, right? Because this card needs exactly 4 Pyros. You just put 2 of these guys back in your deck. You keep this guy in the graveyard, and then you can just use its effect to search it right back into your hand. So this card is probably super good. Actually, it is super good. What am I talking about? And then, like, the last Volcanic last Volcanic card that we use off reload is Scattershot, which makes this deck honestly super good because its effect says that once this guy is pitched by a reload effect, you can send 2 guys from your hand or deck to the graveyard to nuke your entire opponent's board. And you can do this on their turn, your turn, whenever you activate that reload card, which makes this amazingly well. Plus, once this guy's sent to the graveyard, it does 500. So, like, Volcanics used to be a little bit burn-based, right? But we've moved past that, moved into a control-based deck, but you can still win off scatter shots. I've won many duels when it's a super close game. They have really a small amount of life points left. You activate scatter shot, and you know what? That's 1500 damage. And honestly, in this game, damage builds. You Solemn Judgment, you Solemn Strike. You're destroying your life points, and then 1500 damage looks absolutely amazing. And again, it works so great with Royal Firestorm Guards because you nuke your opponent board, you normal summon this. If they don't stop it, right, because this deck relies on their normal summon. If they don't stop Royal Firestorm Guards, not only do you set your scatter shots back up, you technically reload your deck, right? You also go +2, and that's amazing when you're running so many trap cards, which we have to run. So this card is so good. Next, we have the Slicer, and this card is honestly, if you read this effect, he's super average. Once per turn, you can inflict 500 damage. This card can't attack next turn. But since we are running Ties of the Brethren, all you have to do is normal summon this card, activate ties. You get your volcanic rock. You get other cards, and then if it's his first turn, just activate this guy's effect. Flick 500. You're winning technically. You have a 500 life point lead, but yeah, this guy's not bad. He's 1800. It's super budget too. Again, this deck is super budget. Volcanic shells are still somewhat expensive. Like even for a common, they're like $1 a piece, which is annoying. These gold rares are cheap as hell. Yeah. And then lastly, I forgot about this card, Volcanic Counter. This card is super niche, guys. It's super niche. It's sort of like a tech, but not really. It could be a lot better. So it's a Volcanic card, which works with reload. But once this guy is in the grave and you take battle damage, you banish this card immediately. You have to. You're basically required to. And then it's essentially a magic cylinder. So the damage that you take, you get sent back to the opponent. But it's sort of unfortunate in which, like, let's say your opponent runs over this guy and you take 200. You're forced to banish this, and then they take 200. But yeah, it's not bad. It's a Volcanic card. You can pitch the graveyard with reload. It's honestly not bad. I only run one. And we have 2 barrier statues. So this is what I feel like Volcanics needs to run this like today to stay relevant. To stun, you have to stun in order to do anything because your cards aren't that powerful. So this guy basically says no monsters can be special summoned except fire type monsters, and the way that you summon this is off ties. And speaking of ties, we have 3 ties of the brethren. I know I've been saying this card effect multiple times during this video, but I'll explain it to you now. So you pay 2,000 life points, you target 1 monster on the field, 1 level 4 or lower monster from the field, and then you special summon 2 monsters with different names but the same type, attribute, and level as that monster. And you can't special summon. You can't special summon, and you can't conduct your battle phase. So primarily, you want this card on your first turn plus a level 4 monster, because you take any level 4 fire pyro monster, you summon it, right? You activate Ties of the Brethren, and then you get for yourself a rocket, which gives you a search, and then you get yourself either Slicer or you get yourself Inferno in defense mode to basically stun your opponent. They cannot special summon any monster besides fire type monsters. And there's only a few type of decks that run fire type monsters. Dinosaurs have like 1, maybe, but again, you stall them, you stun them, and you have hopefully a line of back row for you to defend yourself. So you basically have to run this. And this deck is like life point heavy. You pay 2,000 running this card, but it gives you so much advantage in this deck, and you need to get your reload starting running first turn off the gates to stun your opponent, to affect your opponent, to gain card advantage. That's how you win with this deck, and you need to have this as fast as possible. So you run 3 Ties of the Brethren, and I do not have Magic Pointer. I'm using enemy controls as proxies. Again, I am super budget. I cannot afford $10 Magic Pointers, but guys, this deck needs to run Magic Pointers. It's only a 2 of. I only believe it's a 2 of, but you need to run Magic Pointer. And if you guys don't know what Magic Pointer does, Magic Pointer basically says send 1 face of continuous trap card you control to the graveyard, draw 2, and you need reload in the graveyard to get it going. So also it's more draw support, right? So reload, the best trap card in this deck. What it is it's basically the keystone. It does everything for you. So this card becomes Tribal's Accelerator while in the spell and trap zone, so it works with Scattershot, right? And during either player's main phase, you can send 1 Volcanic card from your hand to the graveyard, and if you do, you draw 1 card. So you send your shells to the graveyard, you draw 1 card. Shell is completely worthless card. All it is a card in your hand. But with reload, it becomes a +1, right? You send shell to the graveyard, you get your draw, and then you get another shell back into your hand. And it also works with Scattershot, in which you send Scattershot, right? It could be from your hand in this case, and then you just nuke your opponent's field, right? And the reason this card works so well in the graveyard is that when this card is in the grave, you can banish this card, and then you can send 1 Volcanic card from your deck instantly to the graveyard, right? So let's say you set this card, they MST or whatever people run this day, Twin Twisters, right? It goes to the graveyard, and then they're establishing a board, and you know what? You just banish Volcanic, you just banish reload, you send Scattershot from the deck, instantly from the deck to the graveyard, and then you activate Scattershot's effect for a free nuke. This card is so great. So you can use this card, and when you don't need it, you magic planar, not enemy control. You magic planar this card for another 2 more cards from the deck, and you need to see this to do something in this deck. Honestly, you need to see this card. So along with that, the rest of the traps, honestly, is what you want to run. So I do not have a lot of good trap cards. I have a lot of the super old trap cards because I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Like 2013, 2014, and I took a little break, took a little hiatus. So I don't have a bunch of the cards that you need to run, but you need to run trap cards, I think, in this deck to do something. You can also replace these with hand traps if you guys have some. I do not have hand traps. I don't see why I would run hand traps. I have effect fails. I'm not gonna run effect fails in this deck, but if you're going to run traps, run a lot of continuous trap cards so it works with Magic Planner. But I'll just show you what I have. It's super old. It's super like sort of outdated. But honestly, guys, run whatever you want. But I still think you need to run 3 Reckless Greed. So Reckless Greed is you draw 2 cards instantly, you skip your next 2 draw phases, but that does not matter, guys. That does not matter when you have Reload, you have Shell, and you get 1 draw per turn. And honestly, you need Reckless Greed because you want to get trap cards to defend yourself because you're going to need some to stall, right? You're going to need some to save yourself because you need to keep this guy on board. You need to have its effect running. You need monster presence. And if that goes away, you lose a lot. So you need to get to your resources faster. And it's fine because you have Reload always there to get your draws back. And again, it's really easy. And then a super cheesy thing is that if you have like all 3 set or have 2 set and you chain all of them together, you only skip your next 2 phases because that's how Yu-Gi-Oh works. You just go like +5 or plus whatever. Yeah. And then I'm running 2 Torrential Tribute. Honestly, bump this card up to 3. I should run 3 of this card because this card is so great. Your monsters don't really do anything, and you'd rather go plus off Torrential Tribute. You summon, you make a board. You can set Torrential Tribute all the time, and then you can make them overextend. It's such a good card, honestly. Run 3, because this card, it's at 3. You run 3. I know that's a super casual mentality, but it's a good card, guys. Run 3. And Storming Mirror Force. I read this card after my hiatus. I'm like, not holy shit, but yeah, holy crap, guys. It's literally Mirror Force, non-targeting removal. That's not destruction. I mean, that's pretty good to me, right? Again, people always forget that this card exists. You make them overextend, you punish them for it. Run trap cards, right? This deck revolves around trap cards. I'm running triple Mirror Force because literally I couldn't find any more trap cards. Triple Mirror Force, again, people don't expect it. I know it's sort of bad. Like, honestly, guys, if you have better trap cards, run better trap cards. But triple Mirror Force, it is not bad. In a super casual environment, it is not bad, guys. I'm laughing, guys. I know, it's really funny. Triple Phoenix Chain. Oh, no, double Phoenix Chain. I'm sorry, double Phoenix Chain. Again, it's a super outdated card, but it works well with Magic Planner, so it's not that bad. It saves your butt a lot because they can't attack. You get some pluses off it. It negates, right? So it's not that bad. Double lose 1 turn. Honestly, guys, this card isn't that great. It still has that stun effect. So activate this card if you only control normal, no special summon monsters, right? Which sort of contradicts with the Ties of the Brethren, but you can still run it. Honestly, switch this card out for any other a continuous trap stun thing. But yeah, this card does put in some work, but also like it's not the best. I feel like you can use it somewhere else, but I still run it. And the last cards, which I think I need to run a lot more of, is Rivalry of Warlords. And I think this is one of the best stun cards in the meta right now, in which it says each player can only control 1 type of monster, which honestly is what we're all running. We're all running Pyro type monsters, and we're only running Fire type monsters due to barrier stature of the Inferno. So this card is actually so good because it basically like tears through some meta decks. Like some decks can't even like play because they have multiple type monsters. So okay, guys, run this card at 3. You manipulate the traps to what you want. You can change the numbers, right? But again, this is a super casual, super fun, just sort of deck, right? It works. It does its job. Yeah, and as for the extra deck, you can literally run anything you want. So what I recommend is some good level 4s, because you can make level 4s, right? But off Ties of the Brethren, right? Off Ties of the Brethren, you can special summon once you activate this card. But so you just summon this, you summon your statue, right? And then you basically run your level 4s. You run that one level 4 Pyro fire type guy, so you can use this. You can still special summon something. And you run links. The links you run are like the standard links, Decode, Borreload. You run the fire type link guy because you can still make him under barrier statue. And that's honestly basically it. Again, like the optimal hand, guys. The optimal hand is literally this card, and it'd probably just be Volcanic Rocket. Wait, hold up, boys. All right, sorry about that one edit, guys. The lights in my room automatically turn off when I'm not moving in my dorm, so it did not notice me moving while making this video. So the lights came off, so I'm gonna have to edit that out. But as I was saying, the optimal hand is literally Ties of the Brethren and probably Rocket, right? Or even honestly, like Ties of the Brethren, and give me a Slicer, because it can work with literally any level 4 fire type monster. You summon Slicer, you activate its effect because it's the first turn. You get that 500 damage. You activate Ties of the Brethren. You summon your Rocket. Rocket gives you a free reload, and then you special summon Barrier Statue for that stun, right? You set your reload. Hopefully you have some good traps. Maybe a Rivalry of the Warlord. Maybe a Storming Mirror Force for battle traps, right? And that's basically it. You have this sort of board. You have this stun. And it can do something, especially if you go first. If you go second, it is, honestly guys, it is super hard. Also, this card can get Ash Blossom super easily. And that sucks. You still pay the 2,000 and then you stop with it. Again, there's so many outs to this deck, which hurts it a lot. It's not the deck it used to be, but it can still make plays. You can still, like, honestly guys, some people do not know what Scatter Shot does, and I love showing people, like, you know what, this card needs to be respected. It literally does 1,500 damage, destroys your entire board whenever. And that's basically it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this profile. I know it is super makeshift, super casual, super fun, but that's like the tone of my channel. That's what I want to like do with this channel, by the way. And honestly, that's what I love doing. So I have a few more deck profiles. I have this Gusto deck profile. I love Gustos. They're actually like, they're so bad, but they can still like OTK people, which is like crazy. And then I have this ABC deck, which is like, okay, double Costins getting super meta. But as you just saw, I only have effect Veilers. I'm running Black Horn of Heaven for the juicy tech. So I can show you my sort of budget ABCs, right? ABC is budget by itself. But I'm running some like super funny stuff. So I have deck profiles coming up. I have YGO Pro duels coming up where I can actually, you know, maybe run some meta decks. And I have like discussion videos coming up. I love talking about this game, especially for casual, fun, budget players. And honestly, I have lots and lots of hopes for this channel. So until next time, boys, double Costin out.